WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So this is episode number 50 of season 5 of EEPower. Sorry, season 4. Wow, how far ahead of myself can I possibly get? So what I'm going to try is, well, frankly, the Ender Dragon is scary. I'm not going to be fighting the Ender Dragon this episode. However, I'm going to do stuff to prepare to beat the Ender Dragon because, frankly, it's scary, and also help myself against things like the Wither in the future by doing some stuff that I haven't actually done for a while, namely vanilla stuff. Now, it is quite. I haven't done this particular part of vanilla stuff for ages. I've only completed it during the Feed the Beast Insanity map when I had to do it. Let's just skip the pretense, and basically I'm going to be making potions. Now, the potions are going to be a little difficult for me to make because I want to see how I can best automate the potion brewing. So I put a little footprint of what we're going to want to do for here. And let's get there. And let's get over here as well. We're going to need to get the other corner of this building. And you may be wondering, wait, why the heck would you want such a big structure just for your potion brewing? Well, this isn't going to be our potion brewing area. This is actually going to be something else. This will be our multi-block farm. Now I know, multi-block farms are sometimes not the most efficient. However, I want to see, well, it is kind of good to have multiple plants on one plot of soil. Even if it is different types of soil, having to do soul sand and etc. But I'm thinking that I can make this work out. However, we're going to need to have a few things before we can get this fully automated, and that is where we go into this stuff. So let's look at some of the things that we're going to need. For instance, we're going to need a thermionic rather, and it's going to require sturdy casing, chest, gold, and basically easy enough stuff to get. Now let's throw all of that into here, and we're going to need to get that. Let's see. Sturdy casing is easy enough to craft. In fact, everything on our wish list is either already crafted or it's a base ingredient, meaning it doesn't need to be crafted, or it's like the sturdy machine craft thing, where it doesn't need any other secondary machines to get it going at any sort of favorable rate. So I'm going to get the thermionic fabricator here, and also let's throw some of our stone away since it's probably not going to be as useful as we make it out to be. Let's get this, and thermionic fabricator, get! Okay, so obviously this isn't the only thing that we're going to need. Hey, look! Processing! We are going to need to go and dip into our tin supply. Let's get 3 stacks just in case, and we're going to get redstone as well, though that's not too much of a problem considering how much we have. And let's get rid of this stuff since it's probably not as necessary to our global success as the other parts. Okay, so where are we going to put this as a machine that we aren't really going to automate? Well, I don't see any reason to automate it currently, but seeing as there's a possibility in the future that I'd like to automate it, I'll put it here. And it's hooked up to power, and now we're going to need to put glass in it. And as you can see, the bar is slowly going and getting met, and we should be good. So I'm going to go with the largest multi-block structure that is possible. It's a 5 by 5 by 4, so that means I need 100 of whatever I'm making. So let's see, is it like this with this? No, that is not. I'm trying to remember the recipe for the electron tubes. Okay, let me get back to you. Aha, I was partly right. This part is correct, but the redstone doesn't go all around. So 5 makes 4. And do I even want to bother doing the math? Yeah, 125 is needed for everything. So let's start crafting this. And let's just go whole hog and get all of the stacks that we need. Wait, I don't think I calculated that correct, did I? Yeah, I got 4 extra, that's good. Let's keep this stuff here for later. In fact, let's put that in so we don't ever necessarily forget it. And we might be able to automate this later. Then again, is it even able to be automated? Because it might pull it out directly when I set up this. In fact, let's try that. Oh, okay, stop. Apparently, you can automate it. And apparently, I am an idiot. But that's something else entirely. Okay, so let's get this started. And let's do our crafting. No, wait, we need to add some patterns. And actually, we need to add a few patterns. Let's see. Let's get our planks first of all, because unfortunately they are needed in our higher grand scheme of function, and we're going to also need some patterns. 2? Is 2 enough? Meh. It might be. It might not be. So one of the base things that we're going to need are to get some planks, the oak slabs, because frankly, why not? And let's put this back in here. And there we go. We are building quite a supply of things that we need. Okay, so now we have the electron tubes. We need the copper. And let's not get... I didn't want that copper. Thank you. 2 pieces of copper, electron tube, 2 pieces of wood, and 1 redstone? No, the brick of your choosing. So I'm going to go with the brick of my choosing, which is going to be the nice lovely stone bricks. So now you're probably wondering why I'm looking this stuff online. The reason is quite simple. The fact is that it doesn't act... Ah, crud, I forgot that part. The fact is that it doesn't actually, you know, give me the stuff that I want in NEI. I'm guessing the API needs to be updated a bit. Not necessarily the API, but whatever assigns the recipes needs to be updated so that I'll be able to... Why am I doing that? Anyways, it needs to be updated. Let's just go and say that. Is that too difficult? Is that too difficult? I know what's too difficult, getting everything that I need, but that is annoying. Okay, copper. Going to go with this again, and we're going to go with our brick. Flying squirrels? Flying squirrels. Okay, so let's add this recipe. It's quite an easy one once we actually get everything going. Oh, come on. Happy? Happy? Now are you happy? Now that I've wasted so much time? I mean, come on. Seriously, man. Seriously. Seriously. Seriously? Seriously. Seriously. Okay, now, are the other parts allowing me to look at them? I need a gearbox for the energy. Okay, so I won't be able to get that. So I need gearbox, farm hatch for fertilizer, and I also need... What are the other farm apparatuses? I need a water block, which is going to be some other form of madness. Let's see. Trying to think here. I know that is a bit of a problem sometimes, but let's check the farm apparatus. Okay, we're going to need a valve. We're going to need a control. And we're going to need a gearbox. As well as I thought there was a hatch. Yes, okay. So let's get those ready. I'll get the proper quantities, then we'll start combining everything correctly. Okay, let's get this party started. We're only going to need 1 gearbox. Hey, can you let me craft you? Or are you... Actually, you're unable to let me craft you, which is a little disconcerting. I'm not entirely sure why that is the reason, or whatever you want to say. But I'm guessing it's some sort of bug, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so first of all, gearbox, get. and this is going to be in our insertion of energy apparatus. We're also going to need a valve, which is going to be 2 glass and a tin gear. Good. This will supply water, which will also need an aqueous accumulator. Thank you. And 2 buckets of water. I suppose we can get that now. Just being prudent over here, and we're over here. Okay, so now that we got that, and we got the aqueous accumulator, we got the gearbox, we got the valve, the control block isn't actually necessary. What it does is it basically when you add a redstone signal, it stops farming. So I think we're also only going to need 1 hatch. Then again, what I'd probably like to have is a separate hatch for fertilizer and a hatch for all the other parts, the inputs. Maybe manual input. Nah, manual input is kind of sucky. It's manual. So let's go with actually 2 of these. That's probably what I will want to do for now. Maybe in the future we'll change it, maybe not. We'll just have to determine that once we get everything set, ready, willing, hopefully able, but not likely. Okay, let's get our stone bricks in a more favorable order. Sort this out. What? That was very odd. Huh. It's like it was sorting this inventory and this inventory at the same time, which is kind of disconcerting. We only have 39 stone bricks. We're gonna have to go back to the overworld for a resupply mission sometime soon. Okay, so what this farm needs is for it to connect correctly, it needs to be, how's the best way to have this? There's a bunch of different orientations for the farm that it needs. One of the orientations is that it needs stone bricks at the points of entry. Let's see. Let's go and put it like this so that it's a bit more recessed. I don't want it to stick out of the ground too much because frankly that would just not be as aesthetically pleasing as I'd like it to be. However, we also need to carve out the area that this is going to clear cut, and that is going to be a very boring entrepreneurship, so I'm just gonna time skip and then I'll be there. Time skip. That was my horrible impression of Joe Hills. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that anymore because I am horrible at impersonations. Okay, so now that we have that, and we got where the base is gonna be, the base is gonna be here, by the way. Yeah, this is a base. Hello, base. Okay, so let's first put down our aqueous accumulator in a good location. Ooh. Ew. Ew. Okay, that's going to be fun. Let's actually get some more stone because I do not have a silk touch pickaxe. Therefore, I am getting monster load of cobblestone. Let's see. Stone. Get. And we're going to want to fill that hole. So how are we going to put the aqueous accumulator if we cannot? Well, I suppose, yeah, but then we wouldn't be able to get everything correctly in. Unless we were to do a tesseract, but a tesseract for just that, in fact, 2 tesseracts for just supplying water is kind of a stupid way to do things. But I don't think there's any other way to place it so that I'd be able to put it in. I want to have this recessed. I have to have this recessed. It's recessed, come on. Okay, so let's see. What we could do is have the water blocks supported. However, that looks ugly. Let's put our gearbox down first and our hatches. So let's put that there. And okay, so first of all, we're going to have our gearbox. Let's put it in the corner. Sorry, this is our farm hatch. This is going to be our fertilizer farm hatch. We're going to need to have that open to the elements. And we're also going to need to have another one, which is going to be on the opposite side just for some reason. And this is going to be our other stuff that we put in eventually. We'll have to figure out what we want to put in later, but oh well. We're just for fun and consistency's sake, we'll put the gearbox here. And that is where our energy is going to go in, fed by a tesseract. And our valve, I'd like to put, why don't I have it in four corners? You know what? It doesn't matter if I have it in four corners or not. It just is there. Huh. Yeah, 3 places of land does not a structure make, so I suppose I'll just remove these parts so that I'll feed it directly in. Let's get that and that. And then we'll put the water in like this. We'll just need that to go there. And yeah, let's go that there. Okay, so I'm gonna go and get the other part of this structure, which is the brick base. The base is required to basically tell the multi-block structure up to a certain point where it's allowed to farm. So I'm going to go put this down, and then I'll be back. And here we go. Last block, place. And eventually we should be able to show that the multi-block structure has indeed worked. It takes a while for it to update the fact that it's done. And there we go. We have a farm with a lot of water. That's good. Okay, so normal, normal. That's basically giving the humidity and temperature, respectively, I guess. Almost all farms require water. We have 50% hydration requirement. And the only unfortunate thing in this area is the fact that it does not rain. So we can't have the benefit of a very cheap hydration system, which is kind of unfortunate. It really is, but I guess I can't really do too much about that. Okay, so this is the north side. We can probably keep that in mind later. South side, east, west, and that's going to be important later because we're going to need a soldering iron, which is a quite easy thing. So we need bronze and 3 iron, I suppose would be a good idea. Okay, bronze and 3 iron. And we're going to need bronze, which is easy enough to craft. Thank you. Thank you very much. You can have the copper in return. Okay, so now let's take this recipe out for now. And we'll add it back in once we're finished the entire setup, because that's not going to be the entire setup. Okay, so that's soldering iron. We're also going to need a circuit board. And for this circuit board, we're going to go with the intricate circuit board, which is going to require redstone and gold. So that's this. And we'll also get the redstone as well, because we're going to need to add it to the system eventually. And let's go with that much. Okay, so now we have the soldering iron. Get soldering iron. Come get your fresh iron here. It is fresh and irony. Fresh and irony, more like, Intricate Bah! Of course it's the cheaper recipe. Why wouldn't it be the cheaper recipe? That's cheap. Okay, is that? We're going to need a bit more redstone than I originally envisioned. And that'll be enough. Okay, so plunk. Now we'll get the intricate circuit board. So let's talk about that, in fact. So the soldering iron has a certain interface that we'll be able to get to later, but let's look at the farm. The farm, for it to be something other than a managed arboretum, which is, well, an arboretum is a tree farm. What it does need is to have a circuit board to state what it's going to be. I believe it's north, south, east, west, if I am correct, which I might not be, but the order might be this. Let's look at the soldering iron. So the soldering iron has this interface. It has a circuit board slot that there's managed farms, manual farms, and electric engines. We're going to go with the, well, I think managed farms, so I'm going to have to quickly check what we're going to want. We're going to want a few things for all of our potion brewing needs, as well as probably an aside for food and seeds. We're going to need to get the stuff required for netherwort. We're also going to need sugarcane. And what else are we going to need for potions? Let's check some potions and just look randomly. That's going to require redstone. Obviously, we can't do any of that. We're going to need blaze powder. I doubt we're going to be able to grow blaze powder at any point, but we're also going... There's also... I guess sugarcane and netherwort are the only things I need for potions here, at least the stuff that I can grow. However, there will be stuff that I'm going to require for other things. I might as well add a wheat farm, for instance, onto here, and I'm not too sure if there's any other farm that's worth doing. Okay, I'm gonna look what circuit boards that we need. In fact, let's get the circuit board that we have. Basically, the reason why we need different levels of circuit boards is that the different levels of circuit boards, from basic up to intricate, allow you different numbers of slots that you can put to have different types of farms in it. So for instance, the intricate circuit board allows you to put 4 different types, whereas the basic one only allows you to have one type of farm there. And since we're going to want to be as diverse as possible, we're going to go with full intricate. Okay, let's get this party started, at least temporarily. Gearbox first has to go here, and assuming... Right click. Yes, we can actually set it instead of it being annoying. Okay, set frequency, and this will receive base energy, and now we're also going to need to run an ME. Ooh, that's a long ME cable, I must say. Well, I don't have to say it, honestly. That's such an odd expression. I must say. I say my word. Oh, this is a sticky wicket, aren't we? This is a sticky wicket, aren't we? Oh my goodness, no wonder the British can't get anything done. No, wait, that's the French. Okay, so let's get this down before we insult anyone else. Why am I saying we? I'm the one insulting people, dang it, nabbit. And also, we're going to need to get our export buses. 2, perfect, that'll be good for now. And one question I have is, I know, stupid question, is whether if I put one thing in here, what will happen to the other? Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so we're going to need fertilizer, first of all. And fertilizer is lovely made with a bunch of sand and apatite. Sand and apatite, apatite and sand, which is not that bad of a thing, except I'm gonna have to get patterns for it, aren't I? That's annoying. A pattern? Am I going to get a pattern? It's kind of hard to write stuff on a pattern. Okay, so we're also going to need sand. Not soul sand, unfortunately. Sand, let's go with 1 piece, and we're also going to go and get some apatite. What? What? Do I not have any apatite? There's no way. Wait. No. No, wait a second. Can you get out of here? Gosh. How do I not have any apatite? I got 15 apatite. Excuse me, but what the heck? How do I own... Wait a second. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. The reason I only have 15 appetite is not because my quarries suck. It's that I just don't have the quarries at the right height level for them to be able to get appetite in the world gen. So that is mildly annoying. Do I have any ashes? No, I sent that all to be made into carbon, so that is a bit annoying. I could use saltpeter, though I don't have saltpeter, and there's no other way. So, dang it. Okay, I'm gonna look around, see if I have appetite hiding anywhere else, then I'll be back. I lost my appetite. That is most indeed unfortunate and unfortuitous. I honestly didn't think that would happen rather, me being out of something, and that sucked. Okay, right click and right click. So the reason I don't have appetite, I may have explained it adequately already, but in case I didn't, pretty much appetite spawning level is at a different area than than most normal ores. It is quite far out there in the fact that I think it's actually above sea level. So most of my quarries are below sea level, mostly. So it means that I won't be able to get to them at all. So let's see. We're going to need to change this so that it's move and craft, and we should get as much appetite in here. It should be smart enough to see. Okay, good. We are getting the fertilizer into the system. That is good. And the only problem is that it's 105% hydration required because there's no rainfall. So that means it'll use more water, at least. It's either more water or more fertilizer. I'm betting it's more water. I doubt it's going to use more fertilizer for something like that. But anyway, so we're going to need to go get back to our nice, lovely little thing over here and grab some electron tubes. So we can't go with this, but we can go with a bronze electron tube. This is going to be for wheat. We can also go for infernal, which is going to be for our nether wart. And finally, just because, just don't want to, mess it up at all, we're going to go with a copper electron tube to go with some nice, lovely, lovely little, I think that's for the arboretum. Anyways, okay, so now we need to go. Unfortunately, we can't do sugarcane because it's a manual farm, and the infernal farm is a managed farm. So that's a little unfortunate. Okay, so infernal farm, copper, which is the arboretum, and the bronze, which is the crop farm. So north, south, west, east. That's how it is. That's what I'm sticking to. Okay, now we got the managed farm. Now we need to manage our finances a bit so that we can get everything in the correct amount. Okay, so circuit board, get. Okay, now we just need to go throw this in and throw this in. And hopefully it will plant it for us because, well, it needs to take a while. It does take a while for it to plant it. But anyways, I'll put this as well so it can plant that. And it takes a bit of water per farming operation. But that's not too bad. Hope that's the correct size. And now it's doing it on the other side. Good, and it's actually, ooh, that's actually nice. Hope I have everything in the correct amount. Okay, so now we're going to need to get dirt and some saplings and seeds actually. Do I have any seeds? No, I do not. Dirt, I think I got enough of that, and we're going to need to get seeds from our farm up top. I forgot one part. We're going to need a hatch again and hatch a plan to get everything. Okay, so gear. Do we have any gears? No, but we have some sticks. Good. We're going to need this. And the thing that I forgot was the fact that, let's get our cobble. We don't have any output for this bloody thing. Oh dear goodness. I'd like to save that one hatch just in case we need to have some complex setup going. But let's get that tin gear. With this, we're also going to need a hatch. Let's see. Let's see, wood. So this farm currently is not able to output anywhere, which is frankly kind of stupid of me. Very stupid of me. Okay, so I managed to take one of the farm blocks. Just gonna need a hatch. And then we can place this quite easily. Up we go. Up we go. And it's gonna be up here. Let's place this again. Thank you. And place. Okay, so now, problem averted, problem averted. Code yellow is now null and void. Okay, so now we're also planting this lovely area. So this is going to be where our trees are once we get that down, which is a low area actually, now that I think of it. But I suppose it's fine. Ooh, that kind of looks nice. So the north and south are the small plots of land, but the east and west are the higher plots. In the future, maybe I'll change it so that the tree farm is actually a bit bigger, though I don't see any reason currently to do that. Not really. But what I want to do maybe is, actually, that's a, will that work? That is a good question. Okay, I'm going to stop babbling and get some rubber tree saplings, because if this works, we might be okay for rubber as well. Let's put that, stop that. Let's put these here. I assume that this is the proper location. If not, that could be a bit of... I don't want to get there. It's taking a while. Ooh, that's high density. And I'm wondering why this isn't... Oh, that's interesting. That's actually interesting. Now let's put that there. It should... So it needs a direct line of sight towards it. Therefore, I'm going to need to set up a tesseract. Okay, tesseract is complete. Now it's going to go and harvest as much netherwort as possible, as well as get all the seeds that we're going to need for future endeavors. That's interesting. The fact that there's no water here, if the pattern were to continue, the water would go here, here, and here as well. I'm not too sure what the reasoning for that is, though I guess I could find out later. So one thing I'm wondering is when we input the stuff here, will it just completely flood it with all the materials? I'm not too sure. As in, when it finally harvests the netherwort, we're obviously going to get netherwort in the system. Now, will it take some of that netherwort and shove it directly back in, or will I have to input it after it harvests it? Now, if I do have to input it after its harvest, is this smart enough to not fill completely with netherwort, or will I have to develop a system where there's always one piece in it, or at least a stack in it? I'm not too sure. I guess in the meantime, I can wait for this to grow and just see what happens. Though that's not really much fun, I suppose. Do we have any... yeah, I think we might have some bone meal. If we do, in fact, have some bone meal, we can test that out. Okay, so that's not where I need to be. Bone! We don't have any bone meal. Great. Do we have any bone meal here? Oh, I think we have some bone meal, folks. I think we might have enough. Okay, I just want to grow one thing and see what happens. Does it work here? No, it does not. However, it does work on these. Bam! Okay, let's see what happens when it finally notices that it's there. Should start harvesting it. Dang, the idle time on this is quite enormous. Though I suppose it doesn't matter after a while, though it does have to wait a bit. You can move now. Hello? Hello? Okay, now it's actually taking it. And it's replanting it. Okay, that answers that. And then it will have a amount of seeds in it. And this is where everything goes. Now, we're probably going to have to wait a while before we see what exactly happens. This might actually be harvesting the resin from this, which I kind of doubt. But I'm going to wait and make sure. But we don't really have any time for anything else. So I'm going to let this idle a bit and see what happens later on. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Does it not recognize this, maybe? WayofTime here, signing off. Whoa. Have a wonderful day.